Hey Flosstube, I'm back home from Dying to Stitch, and I'm leaving that first segment just the way it came off. I never did mention who my coach was. I said I'm going to introduce you to some people. Just want to give a big shout out to Lori from Textilist and Lisa from Kindred Stitcher for kind of just jump starting me into Flosstube. I can't tell you what a wonderful time we had this weekend with everyone who attended. It was probably the friendliest group of people I've been interacted with in quite a long time, so really did enjoy that. I'm going to tack this on to the first part, and if it's choppy, it's choppy. I'm learning. Lori's trying to teach me, and they've gone on for further adventures to the Country Sampler and finally the Midwest Retreat. So they're on a grand tour of retreats, but just so much fun to meet them and talk to so many other people at the Dying to Stitch retreat. I want to show you what we did this weekend. Of course, I told you before, we had a Blackbird design lecture and two beautiful, beautiful projects. So here was the project that we received when we arrived, when we checked in. And they told a story about bringing sort of the nautical theme, the ship theme in, as people in those times, 17 and 1800s, they didn't know if they were going to see their loved ones again. So it was sort of a touching kind of theme to have remembered their loved ones in this nautical sampler. Beautifully, beautifully done. The colors are gorgeous. The fabric is beautiful. It's hand dyed by R&R. I have not started this one. So that was our first piece. And then the main sampler piece is called We Live in Hope. Now, isn't that gorgeous? Just take a look at that. All the things going on in that sampler. You've got the ship, the basket, that beautiful berry border. All of the flosses were included. They're Weeks Dye Works, and they're really gorgeous. I did get a small start on that, so let me show you that. So that gives you an idea. It's pretty good. Oh, I should have known to hold something behind it. Those colors are true. That darker pink is called Williamsburg, and the lighter pink is Red Pear. Beautiful. And the vine is Cadet, I believe. And again, on a hand dyed by R&R. I want to give a shout out to Ann and Pat and their entire staff. I'm telling you, they were just amazing. Took care of our every need. Just so much fun to be with. I know they're exhausted. They're probably sleeping right now because we're all tired and we didn't do all that work. But very, very happy with how everything went. They did an amazing job. For lunch yesterday, we had a guest speaker. It was, and I mentioned it earlier, Erica Michaels, who is Linda Stoltz. And if you've ever had the opportunity to go to a cross-stitch store, you've probably seen some models with the strawberries. They must have had, I don't know, 40 or 50 strawberries throughout the store displayed. Beautifully done. And I've put together a few, I have done one that was stitched, but I learned so many tips from Linda about the finishing, and so we got a beautiful folder showing us how to, tips and tricks of finishing. And I've done a lot of sewing, so but I still learn. So that's the value of going to these in-person things. You learn from the actual designer, which you can't beat that. So this is the pretty berry that she designed to commemorate the retreat. Blackbird for Blackbird Designs, and then the Dying to Stitch, which is the shop Very clever. Let's see if I've got the photo of the, no, I don't know. Oh yeah, just look here at the bottom, how the top is finished. That's what I had never really investigated. I just thought you pulled a drawstring through. But she's got those beautiful wool caps, and those pins are custom made with, the base of them is a quilting pin. I'll try to remember, I don't have it with me now. And she has cut little pieces of felt for either side of the pin and glued it. I mean, just so clever and customized. I do have these pins right here. Give me a second. So for example, you would use, see these, I don't know, I call them quilting pins, but maybe they're flat tipped. And you would cut this piece of wool felt at about 1/4 inch, so you could get 2 out of that, and then roll it up and glue it with a glue stick onto that, and then do little hearts out of the red. Beautiful. Just that added special touch. So I learned a lot. The other thing we got, how cool is this? We got a custom made bag from Bags by Mama Joan. All filled with goodies. Beautifully, beautifully done. What a great treat. So that's a corner measure. So you measure, and I've never seen one with the drills here, so it's got a hole at 1 inch and at 2 inch, and then you're 3 inches down here, and that's how you'd know where to start if you start in a corner. Very handy. This is beautiful. This scissor fob was custom made for us. Is that not gorgeous? Dying to stitch. Beautiful, beautiful piece. That's a treasure. We got, everybody needs a tape measure, right? A cute little sampler pattern sticker on it. Very handy. And oh my goodness, I was so envious when I saw people who had either bought these or were selling them at market. This is one of the Handmade by Taylor Nash waxer. It's pure beeswax, and this is Stacy Nash's daughter that makes these. So, what about that? Let's see if I can make it show up better. I mean, that is just gorgeous. You have to see it in person. I got, maybe I got a few things at the store, haha. I met a friend, a new friend there, and she said, "Are you going back to the store?" And I said, "No, I'm really fine." And she said, "Well, I was kind of thinking about going back, but I flew in." And I said, "Oh, I'll take you back to the store." So another mini haul later, you know how that goes, don't you? But, you know, it's about, the shop is about 4.5 hours from my home, and it's not a place I'll get to go. That's my rationale, right? I can't go very often, so when I go, I have to really clean up. So this is a thread holder, and I just like the little bunny on there. I don't know how well that shows up for you. Then, how cute. Halloween with the little trinkets. So I always try to get things that I can't find from other sources. I don't have a local cross-stitch store. My nearest one is Sassy Jack's in Asheville. It's a couple hours, so it's not bad. And then all the ladies were wearing these gorgeous necklaces, and where did you get that? They had a lot of them, different styles, and just look how they've done the charms. off the bottom, and they're double-sided. I got another one, but it's in the bottom of my bag and I can't get to it. But if I get enough people that watch this, I'll do another video and show it. I'm not going to make this very long. I'm going to show you a couple of more things that I worked on during the retreat, and then wrap it up with a finish that I got. So it's amazing, but I had done most of this small piece and I was able to get it finished. So the first night I was there, I worked on Scarlet House Smith sampler. And I've been working on this about a month. I'm not a monogamous stitcher. I'm on Instagram as Graceful Stitcher, so you might have seen my post there. It's amazing to me that I've gotten this much done, but it's really enjoyable. Beautiful piece. I'll show you the pattern, if I brought it out here. I don't know, might have to show it to you next time. Completely finished. I don't see it. Oh wait, sorry, other side of the table. Here it is. Smith sampler. I'm doing it in mostly silks, and I got the kit from Country Sampler in Wisconsin, I believe. Highly recommend. They were great to work with and shipped out really quickly, so that was nice. Okay, last show and tell, and then my finish, and we will wrap it up. This is Miss Mary Ann Bourne's, and you'll recognize that as a Hands Across the Sea, from Nicola Parkman. And I purchased this in Asheville before Christmas, and I was in Sassy Jack, so I was able to see the finished model, and that hooked me, right? You see the model and it just, you know, sucks you right in. I like it because I'm a bee lover, bee person. I like the motif. I like bees. I don't have bees. Got to talk to Donna Ray quite a bit this weekend and learned a lot about bees too, so it's not all stitching at these retreats. So I contemplated, you know, when am I going to start this? It's a big piece. I've got a lot of big pieces. And I thought, you know, usually after about the big meal on Christmas Day, things wind down a little bit. And I thought that would be a nice thing to start and have to remember that I started on Christmas. So I had asked my husband for my Christmas present, if he would buy the silks for the kit for me, and bless his heart, he did it. Well, I did it, but we used his credit card. You know how that goes. So lovely silks to work with, and I am not very far, but I've got a good start on the upper left corner. And the colors are beautiful. Some just beautiful tones of gold, dark green with shots of pink and red thrown in. And several of you on Instagram are doing this, and you're a lot further along than me, but that's okay. It's not a race. Okay, the last thing I have to show you is my finish from Retreat. Plum Street Samplers. This has been out for a while. It is every bit as cute as it looks in this photograph. I'm just really pleased with it, and it stitches up. I didn't think it would be a quick stitch, but well, it's not been a quick stitch. I started it last summer, but I put it away. It was a Stitch Mania start last May. Hadn't even picked it up until about a week or two ago, and I probably had a third of it done. So I finished it last night, right as we were kind of closing down the stitching room. And Here you go. Hello, summer. Just in time. And I am going to mount this, I think, on this book. This is a dollar book from the Dollar Tree that was dark green. You can see dark green. I watched a YouTube, painted the book with chalk paint, and I'm gonna muddy it up, grunge it up. This is just the base coat, and mount this on a piece of backer board or mat board. Put a little trim around it and display it on top of this book. And that's not my original idea. I just happened to, I happened to see a YouTube where a lady is a paper crafter and she does a lot of journaling and she alters books, and she said you can get a book for $1 at the Dollar Tree, which is true. I bought 5 that day, and I thought, why couldn't you mount your needlework? Because I'd also seen Teresa Kogut mount some of her work on old antique books. So I'm gonna give it a whirl, and I'll show you the results whenever I get that done. I'm gonna wrap it up, let you get back to your life. I wanna thank again Lori, Lisa, all my fellow stitchers at the retreat. You really are a special group, even the ones not at the retreat. There's something about this craft, right? It really brings people together, and we all have common interests. We're all interested in what each other are doing. I loved walking around seeing what other people were doing, and it was just, 3 days of nonstop having fun. You can't beat it. So have a great evening. Hope to see you soon, and welcome back the next time. Bye-bye.